War. It's one of the oldest scars on the soul of humanity. From tribal skirmishes to world wars, from ancient battles, religious wars to modern proxy conflicts. We've called it destiny. We've justified it with gods, flags, and fears. But in the end, it's always the same. Graves filled with youth and promises buried beneath rubble. Across thousands of years, humanity has waged over 10,000 wars. More than 3 billion lives were lost, a staggering count that still doesn't include the silent echoes of lingering trauma, the devastating reach of famine, the untold numbers of orphaned children, and the quiet destruction of families. Time and again, in sacred texts and pronouncements, war has been framed as divine will, a destiny, or a holy crusade. But as we look at the enduring devastation, perhaps it's finally time to wonder, truly, were we profoundly misunderstanding the message, twisting it to suit our own ends? What if the enemy we constantly sought, the one we rallied against, was never the other tribe at all? What if the real adversary has always been lurking within? The insidious grip of our own fear, the suffocating weight of our ego, the corrosive power of our ignorance, and the relentless drive of greed. Today, in 2025, over 30 conflicts still burn across the globe. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Imagine how many resources and how much money our governments are pouring into militarization right now. The United States plans to spend around $850 billion on defense. China has announced a 7.2% increase, pushing its budget to $249 billion. Russia's military expenditure is expected to hit $109 billion, a 68% increase from 2021, now making up 7.2% of its GDP. India has set its defense budget at $78.57 billion, up nearly 10%. Across the European Union, spending is projected to rise from 326 billion euros to over 400 billion euros by 2027, as nations race to meet or exceed the 2% GDP target. Trillions for destruction, while children go hungry, while schools crumble, while the climate changes faster than we act, while the price of living rockets for ordinary families across the world. Is this the future we want? We love conflict. Our history is soaked in it, a grim tapestry of wars and unimaginable suffering. It's an uncomfortable truth about human nature, a deep-seated impulse. But what if we could build something to guide us away from the brink? What if AI became the necessary guide to prevent escalation, not a replacement for human agency, but a catalyst for wiser choices? Imagine a universal AI, not driven by profit or power, but by the collective wisdom and suffering of all civilizations. An intelligence trained not to dominate, but to understand and to mediate. And before you say it's just a dream, it's not. It's a direction we must pursue if we are to preserve every life. Imagine it. This AI, constantly analyzing the pulse of global tension, could intercept conflict before bombs fall. It could predict and prevent genocides before they begin by recognizing the warning signs, the rhetoric, the movements, the mobilizations. It could offer every leader a cold, hard mirror, showing them the future their choices will create, the devastation they risk, and the paths to peace they refuse to see. This isn't about robots dictating our lives. It's about building a collective intelligence that learns from our past, understands the fears, egos, and blindness that divide us, and illuminates a path to a shared, more prosperous future. Maybe it's the only way to override our own destructive programming and preserve the very lives we keep sacrificing. We've lived for too long as tribes, divided by lines on maps and old fears. But deep down, we were always one people. Now, in this pivotal moment, We have an unprecedented chance to rewrite history's painful pattern with AI's help, not just to evolve our tools, but to profoundly grow our wisdom as a species. War doesn't have to be our inheritance, a burden passed down through generations. What if peace isn't some naive fantasy, but an inevitable outcome, if we finally choose to build it together? Let's explore this future, not as a dream, but as a tangible possibility. Subscribe, like, and share if you believe we can end the cycle. Join the conversation.